Some say the world will end in fire, others say in ice. With what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Robert Frost. Hi, this is Michelle from Memoirs of a Movie Maven, and the movie I'm reviewing for you today is The Words. Okay, now for the plot, I don't want to give too much away. It's a very multi-layered story, and I want some things to be a surprise for you when you go to the theater. So I'm just going to give you kind of just what you would see in a trailer and just explain it quickly. Basically, the basic story is about a struggling writer played by Bradley Cooper, who, for one reason or another, he just can't seem to get published. None of his work is getting published. And it's very frustrating, and through a series of events that I won't give away, he comes across an unpublished manuscript. He reads it, it's amazing, and through a couple of scenes between some different people, I won't give that away either, he decides, okay, I'm going to have it looked at, and it gets published. It gets him a lot of fame, a lot of awards, and all of his other work that wasn't published before it gets published. It jumpstarts his writing career, and it jumpstarts it on a lie. And that's the heart of the story. And it's about what happens when you make this huge decision to lie, and what your life is like after it, what your relationships are going to be like. He's married in the movie to Zoe Saldana. What the rest of his writing career is going to be like, and what happens at the possibility of somebody finding out. That's all I'm going to give away. I don't want to give anything else away. It's a very multi-layered story, and I found it very moving. I don't know if that's just because I'm a writer, so I could understand his frustration. I can understand the idea of inspiration and where it comes from, and I got all of that. But I think it's a very human story about the damage that you can do when you lie. And I thought it was very beautifully acted, especially by Jeremy Irons. He was absolutely brilliant in the film. I thought everyone did a really good job. And it's hard to say what the genre of this film is. I mean, if you're going in thinking that it's going to be this thriller of this guy who steals some other guy's work and the other guy finds out and makes his life hell, no, that's not what this is. Don't go into the movie thinking that's what this is. This is a very quiet film. It's a film that stays with you when it's done, and I was sitting in the theater when it ended, and it was just still. And I was just sitting there going, wow, I was really affected by that film. And I love those films that sit there with you after they're done, and they won't leave, and it makes you ruminate over it and think about it, and it raises questions and discussion. So I really like those kinds of films, and I think that the way that I have figured it out, I like it. And it's like a piece of art. And anyone who sees it, not everyone will get the same thing from it. Some people may take something else away from it, as opposed to someone else who might be very frustrated at the ending and just really hate it. And I like those kinds of films when they're done with a purpose. If they're done as a cliffhanger, so you tune in next season, or, so you go and see the sequel, I hate those. And I hate those endings that just end to be artistic but doesn't have a point. And to me, this had a point. The ending had a point. It didn't leave everything in black and white, and I actually liked that. It did it in a really beautiful way that made sense for the film. It's a very quiet movie. It's not for everybody. If you're a writer, absolutely go see it. I think anyone who is a writer, or who's maybe in a family of writers, and or somebody who's a great reader, it definitely is a film that is like a novel on the screen. And so I think anyone who's a big reader will enjoy that. And it's got a lot of Hemingway stuff in there too, Hemingway references, and and stuff like that. And so I love Hemingway. So A Movable Feast is like one of my favorites. I like the way he describes food. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's to buy. I'm gonna have to watch it again to see if it affects me the same way. But I highly recommend this film. I think it's very good. I think it's, it's a shame that it was released in September, because a lot of September movies they release because they don't think they'll do well. I think it's a perfect movie for September because it's a literary film, and a lot of kids are going back to school, a lot of teachers are going back to their jobs, and so I think it's that, puts you in that intellectual kind of mood, and it's a great film to see with a lot of people, so then you can talk about it afterwards. I think that's cool. Yeah, my rating for this movie is noteworthy. I thought it was a really solid film. It felt interesting, layered, different, well acted. I enjoyed the movie a lot. More to come. Go see Trouble with the Curve. I'm in it. Tiny scene, small part, Braves fan. Next to Clint Eastwood when he's like scouting this and yelling at this ball player named Billy, who's actually played by his son, Scott Eastwood. I'm in that scene, red and white striped shirt, blue hoodie, with that, also with Amy Adams and Justin Timberlake. So yeah, go see that. Awesome. And Dragon Con was awesome. I had so much fun. Totally pimped out the 7-Toe Maggie t-shirt. Some fans actually knew the movie and came up to me, and it was really cool. And I actually asked for my picture to get taken. I got tweeted on the frickin' MARTA, which was awesome. A bunch of people took a picture and tweeted it. So that's awesome. So tried my best to get it around. Bumped into one of the crew members. Hey Hal, if you're watching, and gave him a bunch of the mini flyers that I made and the stickers and stuff. And so I did my best to kind of get it around. And Church of Redemption is still going on. We're almost done with it. A couple scenes to go, and then we got to get into a recording studio. So excited about that. Keep following my Twitter @MovieMemoirs, my blog, my Weebly, my IMDb. Be sure to put Michelle Nichols into IMDb and do the little Facebook like. It'll up my rating. I'd love that. Subscribe for more movie reviews and everything. And if you go to my channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, everything leads to everything else. So I appreciate all the support and everything, and please comment and ask questions, and tell me, if anybody out there has seen The Words, do you like it? This is a good question for you guys. Who is your favorite author? Okay, so I told you I like Robert Frost as a poet. I told you I like Hemingway. I also like Paul Auster a lot. My favorite book is a book called The Time Traveler's Wife. And yeah, I know the movie was but the book is incredible. And yeah, that's probably my favorite book. I also really like Anne Rice a lot. So, okay, so yeah, tell me, let me know below what your favorite author is, or your favorite book, because I'm really curious. And if you're a writer, is there any writer that really inspires you? As a writer, I'm really inspired by, I don't know, I'm really inspired by F. Scott Fitzgerald, Great Gatsby, and a lot of my poetry, I think I get a lot of inspiration from Sylvia Plath. I started writing, and then I started reading her stuff in college and started noticing, wow, she's really depressing, so am I. Which is really funny, because you meet me in real life, you would never think it. But yeah, I love Sylvia Plath. She's definitely an influence, I think, in spirit. Okay, thanks you guys, and I'll talk to you later, and I'll see another movie next week and put it up on here. Bye!